Greetings, blessed love, the mighty royal welcome to my channel. This is I am Life and Light Productions, and Just Sparks, I am your host. I pray each and every eye is up full and bright and living in the light of their mind, living in their human imagination, living in their state fulfilled. Mighty art of Sabbath to each and every eye going through. Do remembering that the Sabbath is a state of mind, a state of being, dwelling in your desires fulfilled. Yes, I pray each and every eye had a wonderful strong, and yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I pray each and every eye had a wonderful strong, and is feeling relaxed, and energized, full of life, full of prosperity, full of joy, full of harmony, And welcome to class 15 of High School of Thought. Yeah, to see that is 15 strongs went by so far, we do give thanks. And we're going to 24, so this is lesson 15 of the Master Key System, where we learn self-mastery, knowledge of self. Yes, right? So as always, I will start it off, and I'm not wasting any time, Yes, So again, much blessings to each and every household, to each and every eye that join in with I. Blessings to the I household. May the I household be filled with health, wealth, and love, joy and happiness and prosperity, peace, and all the goodness that goes with life, because we deserve it all. We all deserve it, Well, this strong 15, lesson 15 of the Master Key System, we will be concentrating on insight. Okay? We're going to take our accustomed position and focus the thought and the fact that to have a knowledge of the creative power of thought does not mean to possess the art of thinking. All right? Let the thought dwell on that fact that knowledge does not apply itself, that our actions are not governed by knowledge, but by customs, precedent, and habit. That the only way we can get ourselves to apply knowledge is by a determined conscious effort. You see it? Call to mind the fact that knowledge unused passes from the mind. That the value of the information is in the application of the principle. Okay? Continue this line of thought till you gain sufficient insight to formulate a definite program for applying this principle to your particular problem. Okay? So again, we'll go over the exercise again. We're supposed to be concentrating on insight. All right? And we will be taking our same position. The same room that we sit in, the same position that we sit. We're going to relax our body, our mind, do everything that we did from in the beginning, And then we're going to focus on the thought that knowledge, having a knowledge of the creative power of thought, right? So having the information that thought is creative, and that you can use this power does not make you, or it does not mean you possess the art of thinking. So Yeah, well, many ones will say that, yes, from they get the information, oh, they know, they know. But they do not have the art of thinking. You know what I'm saying? The art of thinking takes a process, and it's a process of learning. Practice makes perfect, you know? And you're not taught the art of thinking in school. In school, you're taught the art of memory. Yes, right? To remember, but not to think. Yes, right? Okay. So we're going to dwell on the fact that knowledge does not apply itself. That whatever you go and you read in the books, whatever information you accumulate, it does not apply itself. Okay? That our actions are not governed by the knowledge that we accumulate. Our actions are not governed by how much books we read, how much things we know. You see it? Our actions are governed by custom, precedent, and habit. The more we do something, the more we do it. You see it? So the only way we can get ourselves to apply knowledge is by a determined, conscious effort. You see it? Call to mind the fact that knowledge unused, when you're not using the information that you're received, it passes from the mind, right? That the value of information is in the application of the principle. So if you're not using the knowledge that you receive, not applying it, then it will pass from your mind. Soon enough, you will forget about it. So it's about constant application of the knowledge that you receive in order to get the results that you're looking for. You see? Okay. It says, continue this line of thought till you gain sufficient insight to formulate a definite program for applying this principle to your own particular problem. So it is for us to find a way, a formula that we can use this information properly to attack any problems we are having in life. Okay? All right. And we're going to do the question and answer. 10 questions, 10 answers. Okay? And blessings to each and every eye that has joined in. Blessings to the eye household. Yeah, man. Peace and prosperity to each and every eye. To the seen and the unseen ones. We do give thanks for each and every eye. See it? Yeah, man. All right. Question 1. What determines the degree of harmony which we attain? Answer. Our ability to appreciate that we require for our growth we acquire from our growth from each experience. Okay. I will say it over. Question. What determines the degree of harmony which we attain? Answer. Our ability to appreciate what we acquire for our growth from each experience. So each experience that we have, our ability to acquire something learned from it is what helps us to increase the harmony within our life. Okay. Question 2. What do difficulties and obstacles indicate in our life? Answer. That they are necessary for our wisdom and spiritual growth. So difficulties and obstacles are there for our wisdom and spiritual growth. that we know ourselves. We find out more about ourselves. You know? Question 3. How may these difficulties be avoided? So how may our difficulties in life be avoided? Answer: by a conscious understanding of and cooperation with natural laws. So a conscious understanding and cooperation with natural laws will help us to avoid difficulties in our life. Okay? Question 4. What is the principle by which thought manifests into form? So what is the principle by which our thoughts are made manifest into form, into things, into material, tangible things for us to hold and possess? The answer: the law of attraction. Okay? So through the law of attraction, thought is brought from invisible to visible form. Question 5. How is the necessary materials secured by which the growth, development, and maturity of the idea takes form? Okay, again, question 5. How is the necessary material secured by which the growth, development, and maturity of the idea takes form? The answer: the law of love, which is the creative principle of the universe, imparts vitality to the thought, and the law of attraction brings the necessary substance by the law of growth. Okay? Question 6. How are desirable conditions secured in our lives? By entertaining desirable thoughts only. Okay? So desirable conditions are secured in our life when we entertain or we think of desirable thoughts only. If we think of undesirable thoughts, undesirable conditions is going to come about in our life. Okay? Denise, we do give thanks to thy royal presence. Heart of love going through. All right. Question 7. How are undesirable conditions brought about? Okay, so how are the things them in life that you don't desire brought about in your experience? Answer: by thinking, discussing, and visualizing conditions of lack, limitation, disease, inharmonies, and discord of every kind. This mental photography of erroneous conceptions is taken up by the subconscious, and the law of attraction will inevitably crystallize it into objective form. That what we reap what we sow is scientifically exact. So in other words, by thinking, discussing, and visualizing conditions that we do not desire, conditions of lack, conditions of limitations, conditions of problems, so conditions of fights, arguments, what you name it. When we're visualizing, thinking, on these things and discussing it one with another, we are actually creating those things in our life to experience. So the less we think about those things, the less they appear into our life. The more we think about harmonious things, the more harmonious situations appear into our lives. You know? So we come to the realization that everything is taking place within the mind space. And we have the power to control what goes in and out of our mind space. Therefore, we have the power to control what takes place within our experienced reality by the power of thought. You know, it's a wonder why the ancient Egyptians deified thought and made thought a god. You see it? Yes, just some for the eyes them to think about. All right, question 8. How can we overcome every kind of fear, lack, limitation, poverty, and discord in our life? All right, the answer: by substituting principle for error. All right, so by removing the error and putting in principle. And the principle is that thought creates. And whatever you're concentrating on, putting your attention, your awareness on, you're giving vitality to, you're creating, you're using the law of love to generate and help to give form to this thing, to give life to it. And the law of attraction brings it into form. Whatever it is you're thinking about. Yes, right? Question 9. How may we recognize principle? Answer: by a conscious realization of the fact that truth inevitably destroys error. We do not have to laboriously shovel the darkness out. All that is necessary is to turn on the light. The same principle applies to every form of negative thought. You see? So we don't have to fight and wrestle against any negative thought that we have within us. All we have to do is turn on the light, turn on the truth of it, that there is no negativity. There is only positivity. You're a positive being. You're created perfect, and all you can do is perfection. All you can express is perfection. Nothing but perfection. And that there is only perfection in creation. You see it? Okay, question 10. What is the value of insight? So, what values would you get from learning insight? Answer: it enables us to understand the value of making application of the knowledge which we gain. Many seem to think that knowledge will automatically apply itself, which is by no means so. Yes, right? So, if you think that the knowledge that you're gaining will just apply itself and you'll just automatically be able to perfectly manifest your desired reality, think again. You have to apply the teachings. You have to train your mind in the way. You see, the renewal of the mind is key to manifestation. You see, if your mind is not renewed, then you cannot dwell upon one specific thought for a period of time. And then your mind space will be so corroded with different thoughts, it will be chaos in there. So you have to learn to train your mind to still itself. You sight? Extinguish all thoughts. Then and only then you will be able to pick and choose which thoughts you desire to dwell upon. And then you will be able to dwell upon it for a lengthy period of time that your whole body could be enveloped with the feeling, with the presence of being there. You see? So practice makes perfect. We are all learning something anew. As they say, we was brought up in the world, we was conceived in sin and brought up in iniquity, and groomed in iniquity or whatever the case may be. Yes, we was brought into a world where they taught us the wrong way of thinking, and then they grew us up in unfairness. So we have to learn to remove all those teachings from ourselves. We have to reprogram ourselves in the right way of thinking. You see? Because without it, you will not be able to hold a perfect thought to manifest your perfect reality. You see it? So take these lessons very seriously, because they are the differences between an undesirable experience in life and a desirable experience in life. You see it? And it's a process. Trust the process. From you step on this road, know that you're already taken care of. You're already provided for. Whether you have a job or you don't have a job, yes, right? You are provided for. Once you take the initiative to step into the knowledge of self, you will be provided for. Every step you take will be ordered in the right way to serve your best interests. No matter what it may be, no matter how it may seem, your best interest is always at hand. Trust me, and I'm speaking from experience. From you take up this road here, this road of faith, of walking by faith and not by sight. You see it? The inner being that you are takes control, and all you have to do is to train your mind to be submissive to your higher mind. You see it? So these exercises is what helps you to train your mind to submit, your material mind that is, to submit itself to the power of the higher mind, the mind where all things are possible, where you're thinking on the plane of the infinite, where all possibilities exist and are there for you, for your taking. Yes, right. So again, this Strong's exercise is for us to meditate or concentrate on insight. Insight, inspiration, inner sight of creation. We are to concentrate on insight. Okay? And we are to understand that having a knowledge of the creative power of thought does not mean that we are having the art of thinking. You see? The art of thinking is a process that must be learned. You see? So we do give thanks again royally for the eyes them joining in to yet another class of High School of Thought, Class 15, Lesson 15 of the Master Key System. And quickly, I will go over Last Strong's exercise and question and answer, okay, which was Strong 14, Lesson 14. All right, so Last Strong, we were supposed to be concentrating on harmony, right? And when we said concentrate on harmony, we are to do all that the word implies. We are to concentrate so deeply, so earnestly, that we are to be conscious of nothing else but harmony. Right? Conscious of nothing else but harmony. Yes, right? And we must remember, we learn by doing. Reading these lessons will get you nowhere. It is in the practical application that the value consists. So lesson 14 said it, and lesson 15 come again and said it. Decide that knowledge does not apply itself. That you must apply your knowledge. And unused or unapplied knowledge flees from the mind. All right? It goes from the mind. You forget about it if you're not applying it. Okay? Now, question and answer for last Strong's lesson 14. Question 1. What is the source of all wisdom, power, and intelligence? Answer: the universal mind. Question 2. Where do all motion, light, heat, and color have their origin? Answer: in the universal energy, which is one manifestation of the universal mind. Question 3. Where does the creative power of thought originate? Answer: in the universal mind. Question 4. What is thought? Answer: thought is mind in motion. Question 5. How is the universal differentiated into form? So how does the universe take form to the things them that we see? Answer: the individual, I and the I. The individual is the means by which the universal produces the various combinations which result in the formation of phenomena. Question 6. How is this accomplished? Answer: the power of the individual to think is his ability to act upon the universal mind and bring it into manifestation. So our power to think is our power to act upon the universe and bring that which we're thinking, which we're desiring, into manifestation. Listen to what it's saying carefully. So it's teaching us that the universe that everyone wants to be praying to is nothing but a reflection of our mind. So you're praying to a reflection. Those who want to pray up to the sun god and say the Egyptians pray to a sun god, they're praying to a reflection. Anything outside of yourself, you're praying to a reflection and an image. Your sight. Okay. Question 7. What is the first form which the universal takes so far as we know? So what is the first form in physical existence that the universe takes? You see it? Moving from invisible thought to visible thought form. The answer: electrons, which fills all spaces. You see? So electrons that is filling all spaces all around you is controlled by your brain cells, your ability to think and hold a thought, to concentrate on a particular topic and hold it, is your ability to create. and bring it into manifestation to have it in your position. Okay. Question 8. Where do all things have their origin? All things. You name it, whatsoever it may be. Where do all things have their origin? Where do they come from? Where do things come from? The answer, in mind. So everything you see came from your mind. Everything you see originated from the mind of man. Everything you see originated from the mind of conscious intelligence. Yeah, shapeless and formless. Conscious intelligence. Invisible to the physical eyes. Is that? Question 9. What is the result of a change of thoughts? So what will happen if you change your thoughts and start to think something totally new today or in the morning? You decide to just think something totally new. What you never thought before, you're going to start thinking this way. Right? The answer, a change in conditions or your experience in life. So a change of thoughts results in a change of experience. Okay? And question 10. What is the result of a harmonious mental attitude? So what is the result when you hold an harmonious mental attitude all day long, day in, day out? The answer, a harmonious condition in life. So your life will be harmonious if you're holding harmonious mental attitudes. You know, so we do give thanks again, royally, for the eyes them joining in. Blessed love once again to Denise. Yeah, show the eyes self, you know, all the others them. We do give thanks for the eyes them presence. Even though it was invisible, we still give thanks. We feel the energy same way. It is one eye, one eternal eye. So we are never separated. You know, we are never unseen. We are all seen in the place of the eye, in the mind space. You see it? So we do give thanks royally for each and every eye joining in. And remember, knowledge do not apply itself. And knowledge unused passes from the mind. So until such time, fullness of joy going through, full joy the rest of the eyes, them Sabbath remembrance, remembering that the Sabbath is a state of mind, a state of dwelling in your desire fulfilled. Is right? So until such time, royal family, we give thanks once again. Blessed love. What's that? Gabriel. Okay, what it says here. Oh, you speak Spanish. I don't understand Spanish though, but I give thanks to the I comments said way, you know? Yeah. And I don't see somewhere here where I can actually translate it. You know? Yeah, there's nothing I don't see where I can translate the message said way, you know? But give thanks once again. See somebody Dubai. Yeah. Royal blessings going through to each and every eye. You see it, you know? Until such time. Blessed love.